I was looking through my files today, Jack, looking for some cases where there had been tangible evidence of the existence of these things, and I came across a case there at Campinas, Brazil in September of 1953, where about 8 or 9 ounces of pure tin fell out of one of these things, which was evidently in difficulty at very low altitude over the residential section of Campinas, which is about 250 miles inland from Sao Paulo, I believe. And the government collected this tin and closed off the neighborhood until they got it. It got over rooftops, bird holes, and clothing and everything else. It was dribbling out of the edge of one of these so-called saucers.
Well,
They publicly stated that this was tin from a flying saucer. They turned part of it over to our Air Force, and I know that a Dr. Meany out in Ohio at Ohio College, Northern College, was one of those who analyzed the stuff.
Well, I understand that the Brazilian government does admit there are flying saucers, which is probably the only government that does admit.
I think you're right about that. They not only admit it, but they release pictures with their photographers.
Well, that's what I was just about to say. I spoke to Leonard Lyons, I think it was, from the Post. And he had been on a junket or a trip down to Brazil. And he was in the presence of the guy that runs Brazil. And he had seen pictures of flying saucers. And I believe motion pictures.
Well, I'm sure they have motion pictures, and they certainly, well, I know they do, and because they were taken by an official photographer for the Brazilian fleet about 2 years ago. They got quite a bit of them. They got 35 millimeter motion pictures, and they got a lot of color pictures.
I recall the still photos of
spherical thing moving along over the mountains along the coast.
Yes.
And the Brazilian government was quite frank in saying that this is an unidentified flying object.